Hi students, this is a continuation of your third chapter, that is motion in plane, and this is your third lecture. My name is Ratnaprabha Patil. In last lecture you have studied about what is average and instantaneous acceleration, then equation of motion for an object traveling a plane with uniform acceleration, then what is meant by relative velocity, how will you calculate it, then projectile motion. In that we have seen equation of velocity, equation of displacement, then direction, that is tan alpha you have found it out, then what we have found it out, that is the time of flight, then horizontal distance, or you can say r, that is range of projectile, then maximum horizontal range and the maximum height. Now in projectile motion one part is remaining, which is equation of motion for a projectile. For this equation we can take the equation of motion of projectile, or we can derive equation of motion of projectile related, or which is the relation between the displacement of projectile along the vertical and horizontal directions, and this can be obtained by eliminating t, that is time, between the equations which is given below, that is equation of displacement and equation of displacement. If you eliminate the time, you will get the equation of motion for projectile. Then what we are considering, that projectile is, as we are considering here, that projectile starts from x bar is equal to 0, means it is starting from the origin. Then we can write displacement, that is displacement of projectile along x axis, that is sx is equal to x and sy is equal to y. Okay, now we can write sx is equal to u cos theta t, that is t is equal to sx u divided by u cos theta, which is equal to x u divided by u cos theta. Now we are finding displacement of projectile along y axis. So y is the displacement of projectile along y axis, which is equal to u sin theta into t minus half gt square. This equation y is equal to u sin theta into t minus half gt square, this comes from 3.41, that is 3.41 equation number in your book, you can check it. Then which is equal to, instead of t you can write x divided by u cos theta. Then your equation will be u sin theta into x divided by u cos theta minus half g into bracket x divided by u cos theta square. So you will get sin theta 1 cos theta is equal to tan theta, you will get cancel. So your next equation will be y is equal to tan theta x minus half g u square cos square theta into x square. So if you check this equation is the trajectory of projectile. Here u and theta are constants for the given projectile motion. Then this equation is in the form of y is equal to ax plus bx square, and which is the equation of parabola, which you can study in maths. Thus, the path of the trajectory of a projectile is what? Parabola. So, u and theta are constant. It is because if you have thrown the object and and that object will do the motion, that is projectile motion, then initial velocity with which you have thrown that projectile will be fixed for that object and along with the angle. Okay, so for given projectile u and theta will be constant, and that is why if you take equation, that is y is equal to ax plus bx square, then this is the equation of parabola, and the trajectory of projectile is also parabola. Okay, this is all about your projectile motion. Next part we are going to study uniform circular motion. So what is meant by uniform circular motion? An object moving with constant speed along a circular path is said to be in uniform circular motion. Okay, means any object is moving in circular path, then with a constant speed, then such a object is said to be in the uniform circular motion. Okay, so uniform circular motion को हम we are calling it as a UCM. Okay, so UCM is possible only if its velocity is always tangential to its circular path without change in its magnitude. As particle or object is moving in the circle or circular path, its direction is always changing. Okay, if object is changing its direction, so its direction of velocity also changes, okay, with its direction. So vector, if you can say in the, that is vector, that is velocity, then velocity of object which is moving in the circular path is always changing, but its magnitude will be same. Okay, to change the direction of velocity, acceleration is must, but if acceleration or its component is in the line with velocity, it will always change its speed. In this case, object will not continue its uniform circular motion. So what this statement is saying, that if there is a change in velocity, change in the direction of velocity, then there should be the acceleration. Okay, but if acceleration or its component is along or opposite direction with the velocity, then what will happen? Speed, this magnitude of the velocity will get changed, and object will not continue its uniform circular motion. So acceleration should be there, but not in the direction or in the opposite direction with the velocity. Okay, so acceleration, how? Acceleration must be, that is perpendicular to the tangential velocity, means direction of velocity and direction of acceleration both are perpendicular with each other, means then of constant magnitude. Maybe direction of acceleration changes, but its value, that is magnitude, should be constant, and that acceleration always directed towards the center of trajectory. Means center of trajectory means what? If object is moving in the circular path, this its trajectory is circle. Okay, and if that acceleration should be directed towards the center of trajectory, means acceleration must be radially inward towards the center of circle. Okay, then such a acceleration is called as centripetal acceleration. Why centripetal? Because it is directed towards the center of the circle or center of the trajectory of the, that is circular trajectory. And force causing the centripetal acceleration is called centripetal force. Now, what is meant by circular motion? The circular motion is the motion in which object is moving with constant speed along a circular path. That is called as UCM, or you can say uniform circular motion. For uniform circular motion, what is important? There should be a velocity, okay, but with constant magnitude. And for maintain or to maintain this velocity with constant magnitude, there should be a acceleration, but not in the direction of velocity or in the opposite direction of velocity. Velocity of object and acceleration of object both are perpendicular to each other, and acceleration should be or should have constant magnitude and always directed towards the center of circular trajectory. Okay, and such a acceleration is called as centripetal acceleration, and force causing the centripetal acceleration is called as centripetal force. Okay, the next part is how we will calculate period, radius vector and angular speed when object is moving in the UCM or object is performing uniform circular motion. Now you can see the example of uniform circular motion is moon moving around the earth. It's nearly a circular orbit, and this is the result of constant gravitational acceleration. Okay, and due to this constant gravitational acceleration, moon is revolving around the earth in uniform circular motion. Okay, then in the diagram you can see that one object is moving or performing UCM. Then you can say m, small m is the mass of that object, v is the uniform speed of the object, r radius of the object, and t is the time period of revolution of the object. Revolution means what? That object, if it is starting from this point, this horizontal line x, if it is reached or comes back to point, you can say at this line again after completing complete circle, that is called as revolution. Okay, then what we are going to find out right now? Time period of revolution of the object. Then what is meant by time period? Then time taken by object to complete one revolution, or you can say to complete a circle, or you can say circumference of the circle, that is time taken by object to travel a distance of 2 pi r, which is circumference of the circle. Then time you can write t is equal to 2 pi r divided by v. 2 pi r is your displacement and v is velocity, t is time. So how this equation come? Velocity is equal to displacement upon time. So time is equal to displacement upon velocity, and here displacement is what? 2 pi r divided by v. Now speed. Right now we are going to calculate speed, not velocity. It is because in circular motion velocity of object is always changing, as object is always changing its direction. So speed is equal to what? Distance upon time. So distance is what? 2 pi r divided by t. Now here r bar, you can say a position vector of the object from center of circle. You can see in the figure here r is given, which is position vector. R is given, which is the position vector of object from center of circle and directed always from away from the center. It is directed away from the center. If particle performs UCM, now you can see if particle performs UCM, that is uniform circular motion, radius vector describes equal angles in equal interval of time. What it means? Particle is, or you can say object is moving in circular motion. That object is not stationary, it is always moving along the circular trajectory. As object is moving, its position vector is also changing accordingly. But if it is changing, it makes some angle theta with, you can say, x-axis, which is given in your figure, right? And this theta is always changing from 0 to 360 degree, you can say, because circle is having 360 degree angle, right? So we can describe here new quantity or new physical quantity, which is omega, which is angular speed, which is angle described by radius vector per unit time. That is, as time changes or as particle moves along with time or with time, then angle, as well as a particle is moving or object is moving on the circular, its position with respect to time is always changing. A position is changing, its angle is also changing with time. Okay. Now during the complete revolution, angle described is 2 pi and time taken is period, that is t. T is what? Total time required to object to complete, or time taken by object to complete one revolution. Okay, this is time period, and to complete one revolution, or if object is completing its one revolution, then angle is what? How much angle that object is travelled, that is 2 pi. Pi is what? 180, and 2 into 180 is 360, total a circle. Then omega is equal to what? Angle described by radius vector per unit time, which is equal to angle divided by time. Angle is what? 2 pi divided by t. Okay. Now you can multiply and divide this equation by r. Then what you will get? 2 pi r divided by t divided by r. And then here speed is what? 2 pi r divided by t, which you have calculated here. Speed of object v is equal to 2 pi r divided by t, which we are going to insert here, that is v divided by r. Then omega is the, or unit of omega is radian per second. Here you have took the angle, that is pi or 2 pi, that we are going to consider it is in the radian. Okay. Next part, which is expression for particle is performing uniform circular motion, in which expression for centripetal acceleration. Here what we are considering, that particle is performing UCM in anticlockwise sense in xy plane. Omega is its angular speed, r is a radius, t time period. Then if initially particle be at p0 on positive x axis, makes an angle theta with x axis. So theta is equal to what? Omega t. So d theta by dt is equal to omega. Why we have took derivative here? It is because this angle is changing with respect to time. Okay, and due to that omega is also, so with respect to angle, that is d theta by dt is equal to omega. Now if we are considering x and y component of radius vector, then what will be? That components are, that is r cos theta and r sin theta. R cos theta is along x axis, r sin theta is along y axis. Okay, so vector, that is vector r, you can write r is equal to r cos theta I cap plus I r sin theta j cap. So instead of theta you can write omega t, that is theta is equal to omega t. So your equation of r or wave radius vector is equal to r cos theta omega t multiplied by I cap plus r sin theta omega t multiplied by j cap. Okay, so now we are going to calculate firstly instantaneous velocity, and after that instantaneous acceleration. So equation of instantaneous velocity is equal to vector v is equal to dr bar divided by dt. Now if you take the derivation or derivative of equation of r bar, which is equal to r cos omega t I cap plus r sin omega t j cap, you will get the derivative of this equation is equal to r minus omega sin omega t multiplied by I cap plus omega cos omega t multiplied by j cap, which is equal to r omega. You can take it as a common, because in equation of position vector r is common. Okay, so r omega, then you can take omega common, you will get the equation minus sin omega t I cap plus cos omega t j cap. Now with the help of this equation you can calculate, or we can find out the instantaneous acceleration, that is a bar is equal to dv bar divided by dt. Again you have to take the derivative of above equation, which is r omega minus sin omega t I cap plus cos omega t j cap. You have to take the derivative of this equation. So you will get again derivative, just like r omega is common, that is minus omega cos omega t I cap minus omega sin omega t j cap. Again from this equation you can take omega as a common, then what you will get minus omega square r cos omega t cap plus r sin omega t j cap, which is equal to minus omega square r. This equation is again radius vector. So instead of this total term you can write r, that is position vector r bar. So We can take or we can find out magnitude of acceleration. A is equal to omega square r, or you can say v square r. Omega is equal to what? V square r, that is equal to omega v. Earlier you have found it out omega is equal to v by r. Okay, here omega is equal to v by r. If you put this v by r here, omega, that is v square by r, then you will get omega v as a answer, right? Now this acceleration is what? Centripetal acceleration, and this is directed towards the center, and this acceleration is provided by force, and that force is what? Centripetal force, that is F bar is equal to m into a bar. This is the Newton's second law, that is force is equal to mass into acceleration, which is equal to, then m is minus m omega square r bar. Okay, that is your equation of A. Then magnitude of force is what? F is equal to m omega square r, or you can say m v square by r, which is equal to m omega v. Now we will start with your last point from your lesson, that is conical pendulum. You have studied earlier a simple pendulum, means what? Just like a clock. In clock there is a one pendulum which is moving just like a swing, to and fro motion, or you can say left and right motion. Okay, then this, that is in simple pendulum, a mass m is suspended by a string of length L and moves along an arc of vertical circle. Okay, instead of such a thing, just like pendulum in the watch, you can say, or you can say a swing. This is the example of, you can say, a simple pendulum. But if mass is revolving or revolves in horizontal circle, and the string which makes a constant angle with the vertical, which describes a cone whose vertex is fixed, is the fixed point O. Then mass string system is called as conical pendulum. Then I will provide you one animation of this in your group. Okay, then you will understand what is meant by conical pendulum. Instead of swing, or it is not a swing motion, or swing जैसे move करता है, that it will not move like that. If the string along with some mass is doing a horizontal circle, then such a pendulum is called as conical pendulum. Okay, then forces acting on the bob of mass m is gravitational force, which is vertically downward, as you can see in this figure. Gravitational force mg, which is acting vertically downward, and force due to tension in the string, that is, you have tied a string at fixed point O, and one mass, that is bob, is attached to that mass. Then tension in the string is directed towards the support, that is tension is directed towards the support. Again here theta is angle made by string with vertical at any position. Then here tension, you can see in this figure also, tension is resolved itself into two components. One is t cos theta and another one is t sin theta. You can see in the figure theta is angle made by the string with vertical at any position. Now this angle is theta. If this angle is theta, this angle is also theta. You have studied this in geometry, right? So here tension is inclined, so there will be the two components of tension, or tension is resolved into two components, that is t cos theta is along y axis, that is vertically upward, and t sin theta is radial, or you can say this t sin theta provides necessary centripetal force, or you can say this is radial or centripetal directed towards O dash. O dash is what? The horizontal circle made by the pendulum, and O dash is the center of that horizontal circle. Okay, now in this figure you can see there is a balance in between two forces, that is t cos theta and mg, that is gravitational force. Okay, so you can write here t cos theta is equal to mg and t sin theta is equal to mv square divided by r, which is this centripetal force, that is mv square by r. Okay, that is tan theta, sin t sin theta is equal to mv square by r. It is because this t sin theta is directed towards the center, and you are knowing that the force acting on towards the center is what? Centripetal force, which provides the necessary centripetal acceleration. So now if you are divide t sin theta by t cos theta, means you can divide this equation by this, what will get? Tan theta, tt get cancelled, you will get mv square divided by r divided by mg. After solving this, what you will get? V square divided by rg. Now you are knowing that V is equal to 2 pi r divided by t. If you write instead of V square 2 pi r divided by t, what you will get? Tan theta is equal to 4 pi square r square divided by t square r g. Now we are going to find out the time period for canonical pendulum, that is t is equal to 4 square root of 4 is 2 and pi square root of pi square is pi. Then you can take out from the square root. R get 1 r get cancelled, so r under root of r divided by g tan theta. Now t is equal to 2 pi. Instead of r, what you can write? L sin theta. From the figure you can say r is equal to L sin theta and divided by g tan theta, which is equal to, instead of tan theta you can write sin theta divided by cos theta. So cos theta will go to the, then you will get 2 pi into bracket L cos theta divided by g, and which is equal to 2 pi h divided by g. H is what? Height of the pendulum divided by g, and this is what? Your time period of the conical pendulum. Here L is the length of the pendulum and H is the vertical distance of the pendulum or vertical distance of the horizontal circle from the fixed point O. Okay. Then this is all about your lesson, that is motion in plane. Okay. Okay, thank you. We will start with your next topic as early as possible, which is laws of motion. I will send you the animation of conical pendulum, how it swings, okay, or how it perform horizontal, or how it revolve in horizontal circle. Okay, thank you.